the 19th of the 1st, 2020. My upload this morning is, as usual, based on the same topics that I've discussed in this channel of hate crime and human rights violations that I'm experiencing. As I've said, in 2006 I began my studies and work in angelology, and I became a light worker. My body of light, as I've said, was destroyed by a community. My body of light, you could liken it to a Cartier store. For a single diamond in a Cartier store, you could pay up to millions. My light body was destroyed in Tralee, County Kerry, Ireland in 2017-2018, and there have been repercussions to that damage that was done. I've been working since 2006 in recovery and self-development, etc. I've studied psychoanalysis. I've studied many different topics. But the one particular piece of work that I want to discuss this morning or this afternoon is with regard to the work of Clarissa Pinkola Estes, a psychoanalyst that explains thoroughly the role of femininity and feminine spirituality and the process of becoming a woman and womanhood. It's a psychoanalytical piece of work, and it's a challenging read, but a worthwhile read. So the first page of that book refers to how femininity and womanhood has been bulldozed and looted. At 38 years of age, after all my work since 14 years of age, I can say easily that I have been bulldozed upon by individuals with no respect or integrity for another person's work, development and progress. As I've said, the hate crime that I'm experiencing has had different stages. Openly and publicly, collectively active around 2016, 2017. And now we're in 2020 and we're at the stage of it didn't happen, we don't know her, this woman is a nuisance, she's antisocial behaviour characteristics, she's not wanted in society, she doesn't work, she owes money, these kind of nonsensical claims and lies. So that in itself is a delusion on the part of the culprits that have openly and blatantly and even online have shared on forums about Emer Griffin McElligott. So that's part of how this vendetta has progressed. That's the stage that this vendetta is at. We did what we did. We're not sorry for the damage we've done. We're not apologising to her. We're not providing her with the compensation that we owe her. And we don't want to have to confront this situation, and we don't want to have to look at the damage that we caused. So that's denial also. And the other interesting aspect to this is the judgmental scrutiny by culprits that have behaved with disgraceful misconduct and have done very serious harm, not only to me as a mother, but to others that they are also aware of, and have attempted to cast aspersions and judgments about me. As I've said, my personal life and my purpose and my profession have been bulldozed into by individuals that have caused and perpetrated hate crime, human rights violations, and constitutional wrongdoings. As I've said, they've gone to great cost, great expense, to make a bad situation worse. There was no justification except their greed, hatred, and malice. There was no rationale to the outrageous lies that they told. Um, as I've said, I'm a deserted wife, and there are other aspects to the situation. And directly and indirectly, those involved in violating and victimizing me are facilitating cheating, betrayal, and lies. And these are individuals of propriety, being very hypocritical and being highly, highly rude, just completely rude. That's as much as I could say about it. I could use stronger words, but you know, there's a situation that's being facilitated that is disgraceful. And for a community that's supposed to be espousing propriety and respectability, I wonder who do they think they're fooling? Because as a woman that has worked and achieved and contributed very positively to society, I might add, and that has been law-abiding, to be facilitating not only cheating, betrayal and lies, but also to be facilitating an offender of the Irish legal system, the judicial system, an offender of the pillars of society that has disrespected my family unit, and that has disrespected my profession, and that has disrespected my privacy, and that has disrespected my personal life. So, as I've said, in 2005, I was sexually assaulted and I experienced revenge porn, and I recovered from that. Anyone that has any idea of such an experience knows how difficult it is to overcome and to forgive and move on. Now, that's one disgraceful incident to have occurred in this town. But here we are again, as I've said, and this time it's not sexual assault that I have been confronted with. It has been a spiritual assault, and it has been an assault of my constitutional and human rights. Throughout all of this, there's been the tactics of undermining, isolating, suppressing, subjugating, degrading, demeaning, and belittling. They're the tactics of the winners and influencers of this shameful vendetta. And these are respectable professionals and individuals as well, I might add. So it seems that after the damage that has been done, that has not been compensated for, there's been no amends, there's been no acknowledgement, there's only just been lies after lies after lies. That, as far as I'm concerned, is a sad sign of the times. From a psychoanalytical perspective, they say the body is a temple. The female body is a temple, and all of our bodies are to be respected. My body was disrespected in 2005, and again after I gave birth in 2015. There are individuals that have not only stolen my Cartiers and have, espoused to be oracles in the community, but have also been completely disrespectful from predatory perspective also. The people that have damaged me and my livelihood and my health and my profession and my family life, etc., 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 have gone to great lengths to conceal the truth with the worst lame effort of deception that has been broadcasted publicly. Hate crime and power players are very influential, and they have access to sources in the media that an individual such as myself that isn't technologically minded at all, um, you know, and would network a message of lies so much easier. As they say, the what is it? The truth is it the lies or the truth travel faster around the world before the truth can pull its pants up. Something like that, anyway. Um, so the lies about me that have not been corrected and that have not been rectified is all very serious. As I've said, the violations of privacy and people imposing in my private life. Would you walk into another person's house and help yourself to their belongings? Would you, you know, would you do those kind of things? You wouldn't. Um, Respectful people wouldn't anyway. So that's what's happened in my situation. People have walked into my life that don't know me, that haven't engaged with me or interacted with me, and that have caused very serious damage without acknowledging the cost of the damages already caused. Um, the idea of living in public accommodation is not easy when you know that the very people that have caused this problem are still quite prevalent and quite present and quite persistent in their efforts to cause further problems. It's easy to pick up the phone and make a false claim. It's easy for people to make situations worse without confronting what has already happened. I feel sorry for those that find it so difficult to confront the problems that have been caused. I feel sorry for them that they don't understand what cost has been incurred by those in this community that damaged my light body and destroyed the purpose of a mother and a teacher, etc. So, as I've said also in previous uploads, prior to me being married, I had no involvement with mental health professionals, neither had I ever been detained in a psychiatric ward. So one of the ploys, and these are topics that are always researched online with regard to hate crime, the aspect of mental health. The issues of mental health and hate crime in this situation are so obvious, but it concerns me who's got the mental health issue. Those trying to implicate and involve mental health professionals to cause further problems for me, simply to avoid honouring and respecting and obeying the Constitution and my legal rights. Mental health professionals have been implicated and involved without any reason for them to be ever in any way violating me. My mental health is perfect. My physical health, as a consequence of hard work on property that I was harassed from, is not so good. People making judgment calls and calls of false claims is not good either. So this situation, while employing tactics of undermining, suppressing, belittling, degrading, subjugating, etc., 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 from of a person that is owed quite a substantial amount by a community that has stolen and damaged so much, not just with regard to my reputation and my profession, but also from other perspectives also. So the hate crime issue and mental health um, factor is an interesting um, topic of research for any students of human rights um, and sociology and culture. Um, the involvement of individuals, anonymous individuals that don't even live with me, that don't even know me, that are already guilty of causing very serious wrongdoings. Those people uh, imposing and thinking they're in a position to cause problems to a professional woman, an adult woman, minding her own business, makes me wonder about their mental health. Um, it also makes me wonder, as a whistleblower that has experienced these wrongdoings, um, what level of protection is there for a woman like Emer Griffin McElligott, who has experienced violations of privacy, inviolability of my dwellings, theft of my belongings, trespassing on my property, um, damage to my family unit, financial abuse and theft and exploitation, legal violations, disinformation, defamation of my character and reputation, etc., 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 etc. This is what I am confronted with, and those responsible haven't got the mental health awareness to understand when enough is enough and when to put their grievances and issues of malice and greed aside and grow up and behave like mature adults and understand that there is nobody ever disposable or insignificant, and especially a person that has been already so severely damaged and harmed and so severely exploited and has had so much stolen from her already. Um, I'm surprised that there are professionals that don't understand the worth of human life and humanity. I'm surprised that people would go to such costs to cause such problems. I'm surprised that people would go to such lengths to impose in a person's life that they have no business imposing upon. My personal decisions are my business. There aren't other people in any position to make decisions for me, um, especially surrounding issues of profession, married life, family life, etc., etc. So this situation is bizarre. It's absolutely horrendous that in 2020 this kind of a situation is being facilitated. Insignificant and disposable. Would it be insignificant to go into a Cartier store and steal a diamond ring worth €1 million? What is the cost of destroying a beautiful light body, a royal angelic light body? What is the cost of destroying a career of 15 years with defamation about mental health issues and other unsavoury conduct? What is the cost of destroying innocence? What is the cost of the wrongdoings that has occurred? Um, I've not been consulted, as I've said. I've been intentionally isolated, and there are people trying to exploit a situation that they obviously have no understanding about. The other situations that have occurred are a little bit more complex and a little bit more private, but as a woman, fully cognizant of all factors and tactics being employed in this disgraceful vendetta, I'm wondering, would authorities and politicians care to address the mental health of causing such insanity in society? And would there be any possibility of considering the consequences for facilitating cheating, lies, and betrayal? And I'm wondering, when are the legal professionals ever going to be um, when are they going to be able to facilitate this woman, and when are they going to be able to defend my rights? Because I don't consider myself as a woman with no rights. I've worked for what I got. I didn't damage, harm, or abuse anyone along the way to get what I worked for. But in the past 2 years, there's been such foul play and such horrendous bad tactics and such unethical conduct. I'm wondering of the sensibilities and respectability of those trying to overtake and override a situation that they have no business being in. And I'm wondering, have they any shame about what they've done? And I'm wondering, do they understand what amends is? Because as a teacher that's unemployed and that has experienced physical violence, domestic violence, and the implications being physical ailments that are untreated, I'm wondering, who's going to pay the price for what has been damaged and stolen from me? Is this community prepared to risk the future of all harmony and positive experiences just because of hate crime? Or are they going to have the courage, bravery, wisdom, and whatnot to confront the damage done and amend the problems caused directly to me, and basically set the record straight and clean up a shameful mess? Because those individuals imposing in my private life and my family life um, have really stepped over the line, and they've really the damage caused has been heartbreaking. As a mother, um, absolutely horrendous. So it's 2020, and like all women, I expect to be treated with respect. I expect to have my rights respected. I haven't disrespected other people. I've contributed very positively to my society and my community, and I've helped many people along the way in a very positive way. So to be sitting here in 2020 with the most nonsensical judgment claims and calls being made about me, and people imposing and thinking they're going to make decisions about me and my future after what I've worked for, is very serious. So, as a mentally healthy individual um, that has concern for the decisions and individuals making those decisions that are imposing upon me, I hope they know the cost of the damage that has been done, and I hope they know what is owed for what has been stolen from Emer Griffin McElligott, uh, not only since 2005, but also since 2017.